Hey up, I'm Fu, and welcome back to another episode of Prison Architect. So, we're still in the early stages of our prison, and we still have a lot more to build before we can even satisfy the first two grants and get our prison intake. So the prison intake is, like 5 hours away now, and administration and detention centre still need to be done. Now, administration, there's nothing I can do to speed things up, but the basic detention centre still requires a few things. So we need a holding cell. We have a holding cell set up, it just requires the parts to be placed. The shower is being set up on the left. The yard's already been done. I mean, it's just a patch of grass. And I'm sure the prisoners will be fine with it. We need a kitchen, which is on the right. Canteen. We have 2 guards and we only have 2 cooks. So it's just a matter of getting things hooked up now. So, let's see what we need. We need, in the kitchen, we need some sinks. So let's see, I'm going to place the 2 sinks by the doorway. Means we can reduce the length of our, what do you call them? Pipes. The large pipe, because we'll be running a large pipe right through this area. As much as I hate the idea of going through the holding cell, it's not going to be an issue, I don't think, since our water station's inside. Now, let's see. So we have the kitchen requires. So we've already set up the 2 sinks. Now we need some serving tables for the canteen. So we'll place the serving tables on this wall, like so. Interesting. Nearly had enough room to fit another one. Well, I do want to maximize the amount of tables we've got. So how about this? I'm going to place another, say, 2. And that should be enough, or at least I hope will be enough, to satisfy the prisoners' food. Now this is a nice, very big area, so I mean we could also fit another 2, what are these? Serving tables, sorry. A bit of a blank there for a second. So we'll go on and build these tables around the place. So we're looking for, let's see. So we want to keep at least 1 space, probably 2 spaces. So probably around here, this would be the tables, so we need seat, seat, table, seat, seat. Let's see how this works. So if we get some benches, I mean they're seats, bench, and place this, probably 1 gap, so go here, skip 1, here, skip 1, yep, that should look, that looks fine. Let's see how this works. There and there. Okay, let's keep on duplicating this pattern now. So we'll get another 2 benches down. I'll put a bench in the centre. Oops. Need to place a table there. And it looks like we've got enough room for just a table and a bench. Oh, ain't that a shame. That pattern was looking mighty fine. Okay, well, let's see. Do we want to shift anything by 1? You know what, I don't think we do. Nah, I don't think shifting by 1's what we want. Okay, well, let's see. Can we fit another table up here? By the looks of it, we left a 2 gap here, so leaving a 2 gap. 1, 2 puts us here. Yep, that still works out fine. I'm satisfied with that. And the little gaps. I put benches in the centre. Whoops. Oh, that's a bit of a bad mistake. Don't think people would look very lightly on that. So, benches. Benches, tables. Wow. Same mistake twice in a row. I need to focus. Focus, Fu, focus. Benches down. Excellent. Yeah, I'm liking this design, and I mean, having the 1 extra spare bench at the end, that table, wow, table at the end will still work for us. Now we do need to set lights up in here as well. I believe lights will exist on another layer, so we can literally just place them down when we want. So we'll place, let's say, 1 on either side. That should be enough light to satisfy the prisoners. Well, at the very least, I don't want to waste too many lights. Let's see. Place 1 light, say here and here. Oops, 1 closer. Yep, that looks fine. And that should be enough. At the end table, I think we can just ignore a light for the time being. Don't think it's really necessary. So the kitchen also requires some cookers and fridges. Now, I know there is a ratio. I'm not going to follow the ratio, mainly because I can't recall it off the top of my head. And it doesn't really worry me at the time. So we'll go for 2 cookers, whoops, 2 cookers, a fridge, so we'll place the fridge, let's say here and here. Yep, that works. And we've run out of money, wow. Well, that was fast. But I think we have bought everything, so that's actually good. Okay, well, let's just hopefully our builders get everything set up. We still are missing the pipe work, and we're still missing the power cables, but we'll deal with that. Now we are in negative money. Can we borrow anything? Current bank loan is 0. Let's take a poke around in these tabs. Grants? Nope, it's not a grant. Yeah, so we actually needed that money. Sugar, honey, iced tea. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna bump it. Say if the 10 payments is 3,600. Is it enough to get the last items we need? Let's bump it. Oops. I think only 10. I don't want to risk. Oh, we can only take in 8. So there we go. We'll just take in 8. Take in 8 prisoners, and that should be enough for the time being. Power and water still need to get set up. Okay, we can do this. The world hasn't gone to shit quite yet, but we do need the money. So okay, we'll have to wait for a second. Yeah, speed things up. So it's about an hour until the first prisoners arrive. Oh, what was that noise? Okay, it's about an hour. Oh, it's half an hour. Less than, well, 20 minutes now. 20 minutes until our prisoners arrive. There they are. We've got the money that we need. So let's get these last utilities at least marked out. Now, I got a feeling connecting up the oven, stovetops, and the fridges will probably overload this battery. So for the time being, I probably won't do that. So I'll drop one cable in here, and I figure that that will be enough to cover the entire room. We do need a power cable up here for water, so just drag it the whole way through and that should be fine. So where are our prisoners? There they are, in the prisoner bus. All 8 prisoners. Now our guards, now this is going to be annoying because these doors are going to be shut most of the time, so we're going to lock them open, but we won't lock this one open. The guard will be able to deal with this because the guard will be coming pretty fast. Back and forth, grabbing all these prisoners and dropping them into the reception area. Excellent. Oh, cool. We've got some power down here now. So what else is this missing? There are no prisoners assigned to eat at this canteen. Well, that's in part because we don't have a prisoner room. Interestingly enough, the last thing we needed is a shower, which, you know, I guess I'm hoping if I mark the room, which means we need 1 door, that should be fine. So we'll mark this with just a common door. So 1 up the top, 1 down the bottom. I think, let's say 2 here. How many gaps is that? It's 2 here. Yep. Here, 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 and here. So there's a lot of doors in and out of this place. And hopefully the prisoners will go all different directions. Oh. Yep, okay. Well, I didn't hook it up to the cooker, but it seems like we still have run out of power, which is a shame. Okay, well, it's time to just drop a few batteries out. It seems like we've already got 1 capacitor around, so it won't cost us anything, luckily. But does mean we need a couple of capacitors. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. So these builders will get around to building them, and we'll have some power for our power station. Can we switch it on? Yeah, we can. Excellent. That's enough power. Cool. What else do we need now? Well, looking at the map now, interestingly enough, the light on the right hasn't got enough length, so we'll just extend this by what, 1, yeah, 2 this way, and then 2 to the right. That will cover the right corner, and then also we can extend to our cookers now, given that we have those power cells. Now, what about the water? We need to grab these large pipes and pull them right down to here. I think will do the trick. Yep. Also want to pull some pipes all the way over to... No, we can't do that. Cancel that. Okay. Well, we'll get this at least these pipes set up just for the time being. Yeah. That's a little bit of a shame. So we can't actually... We don't have the money to extend over to the shower room quite yet. So that's my fault, I guess. Well, I can't guess. It is my fault. Well, let's get the room set up for the showers and we'll work out what to do next. I guess that doesn't count. It doesn't count because it's not valid yet. Ah, that's a shame. So all you need is shower heads. Well, That's not too hard. Let's see if we can put at least one shower head and see if that completes the requirements. So we need to mirror this. How are we going to mirror it? Well, I think we'll leave one space from the door. No, we're going to put one right next to the door. And we don't have the money for it. So leave it like that and see if that's enough to quote-unquote validate this shower room and get our $10,000. Then we can hire an accountant at a different point. That gives us the other $5,000 and things will be looking better. There we go. So that was enough to qualify it as a proper shower room despite lacking water. So we can grab the accountant. That gives us the other $5,000. Excellent. Okay, and you know, the accountant will choose their office as required. So, where are our prisoners currently? They're eating, so they're in this room. Can't exactly see them right now. Okay, so we've got one meal for one prisoner. I guess that's something. And they do have a room to go to, and this entire area is walled off. Cool. That's nice. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. I mentioned it last episode, is these guys just clump in the corner right where they enter the area that they've been assigned to. So, for example, now is yard time, so they're sitting on the very corner of the yard, which I kind of hate, but because it means that these guys will clump around and they'll get annoyed because of space issues. Okay, let's see, what can we build next? You know what, I think a place to hold all these extra clumps of wood would be an excellent idea. So that is, it's not an export room, it's something to do with builders. I know what it's called a storage room. There we go. So where are we going to put a storage room? Well, for one, I can't just put the storage room anywhere. So we want a closed off room that we could probably extend at a later date. Now, do I have the money? I guess I can. I do technically have the money. So we'll place the room just off the side down here. So let's see, we'll leave a 2 gap plus another 2 gap, 1, 2, puts it in line here. So we'll make it maybe for the time being how much? That's a bit of money, I think. Yeah, make it an even size room, and that will be enough for probably the entire facility. I mean, it's just for storing items such as loose bits of log. Oh, what's this? We actually got ourselves a note. So this is financial system changes. I would read through this right now, but I think we want to focus on building this prison more than anything else. Well, that's cool that we got we actually achieved an unlockable. So also set up a door, making sure this will be it doesn't need to be a jail door, so it will just have to be a staff door. We'll place the staff door probably along the edge. This is a 10 by 10 room, there's no even place, we'll put it in the top left. That'll do fine. Oops. Excellent, so our cooks are doing their job. What's this? So that's food base. Ah, right. We need to get a bin. The bin is a place where they can drop this, leaving the kitchen looking relatively clean. It's not an official requirement, but I think it's always a good idea. So let's drop the wheelie bin where? I think it'll probably be just alongside the doors. Put 2 down, just for symmetry's sake. So that means that these cooks will actually drop them into the bin, and then a builder, I believe, will come past, or a gardener will come past. Gardener or cleaner? I think a cleaner comes past and actually takes this to garbage outside, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so what's next? We have $10,000, or is this the time where we just want to wait a little bit? Requires entrance. That is an entrance. Well, that's not good. This inner area is now open. What have I done wrong? Rooms. Foundations. Build concrete. So I would have dragged it along here. Did it incorporate that wall? Let's see what happens. Hopefully none of the prisoners think this is an easy way out. Requires door. And that doesn't count. Well, that's... okay, well, I must have done something wrong. Maybe I need to drag it over top of the wall. That's probably what I did last time. If I click, I lose probably the money. And... okay, so I just cancel the foundations. We'll just place them down again. Hopefully it doesn't charge us too much because of this. Include the wall this time. Yeah, so it did cost us a little bit just to get this foundation properly set up, but that'll be fine. There we go. And the workmen got a little bit stuck. That's fine. Means we can mark this now as the storage room. as planned. And pretty much that's it. I don't think I even bother putting a light in this one. There's no real big need for it. Excellent. So it does mean that any loose items, such as these stacks of wood and anything else found on the map, will get dropped in the storage, which is great. Means I can actually choose to sell these pieces of wood at a later point in time as well. Or I can use them in the... what do you call the facility? The facility is called... it's probably one that I don't have right now, which makes it even harder to read. So, library, laundry, security, workshop. Workshop's the one I'm looking for, because the workshop has the saw and you can actually use the wood to turn into planks and sell. So that's a money-making scheme at a later point. Okay, what's next? We have some showers without any water. So the water for the showers will be the next thing. I don't think anyone wants to have any smelly prisoners now, do we? So we'll pull it down over here and probably down into the room. Probably right down to the bottom will be fine. We'll get the water pipe in. Now I'm kind of curious how the hot water pipe works. Now, because I haven't actually used anything temperature based before. So it's high powered and requires a water connection. But what is it for? I will take a guess that it's probably one of the hello, what are you doing? You want to get through the staff door. Why? Because this door is not locked open. That makes sense. Lock open, please. There we go. Now everyone should walk this way instead of walking through the kitchen, which should be off limits, technically. Very well. It's not off limits, then we'll just deal with that for the time being. And there's the pipe being installed. So this is an access point outside of the prison, but given that the water station is stuck inside, it's just going to be sort of like a conduit. Prisoners will want to dig towards the pipe, because it's a faster route to get outside of the facility. So they might dig up to here and then try digging out the wall, if they do decide to dig out. Or they might just try and dig under the officers themselves. I don't know, we'll have to see what happens. So 9 hours, we're going to take another 2 prisoners. Now we do have enough money now to build up a dormitory, which is what I'd like to do. So we need to get our concrete tiles once again, because I always like using concrete tiles. It's a little expensive, but we'll make a 3 wide and we'll probably do that the full length. Yeah, that is expensive. That's probably where most of our money is going. That means we'll set up a dormitory, probably on the left side, I think. Now, it kind of annoys me that I've allowed this area to become the superhighway for prisoners. It does mean that they'll congregate there, and it's going to be a mess. We'll see what happens. We'll just probably get a few more guards if that's the case, if it causes any issues. So make this one, let's see, how much space do we have? We have 40 meters, so if we make this 20 minus 1, 19, yeah, 19, and we'll make this one big building. Can we do that? We don't have the money for it. Shame. Okay, we'll make it 19, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah, 19, thank you. And it does mean that we left one space, which is a 2 gap. Oh, that's annoying. Let's just make this one slightly smaller then. 15, we have the money for that. Yeah, just. Okay, well, we'll build that. So it's a 12 by 14 room, and we'll get some bunk beds and call this a dormitory for all of our prisoners. It's not exactly what I want, but given that we're struggling with money, what am I doing? Money. I can take another grant. So what are we going to work on? Oh, short term is fine, but it just means waiting around. Don't want to wait around right now. So it could be a cell block, inmate health or well-being. That one's a little annoying because I don't want to get doctors right away. Prison maintenance is what someone, yeah, that's a lot of things to do. Visitation rights, also a lot to do, and it's not much money. What's a good amount? So this requires us to hire 10 guards. We don't have the population to really warrant 10 guards right now. So maybe when we get the next inflow of prisoners. What about reforming through education initiative? You have to have prisoners passed. No, that's not happening either. So, I'm probably going to just say cell block A because it's a 20,000 in advance. Let's just raise it to 15. I mean, it's at 0 currently, and we have 8 prisoners, but I think we can get 15 easily in this room. And that gives us the money, no problems. You know, given that's the case, I might just, because I want to extend this room just a little bit further. So it's a 12, we'll make it another 8, there we go. And that didn't work, oops. Try that again. So we were going to make a 15 room by 20. There we go. Okay, so they'll have to rebuild part of that a second time. Not the biggest issue. So let's plop the door down. We'll make 2 doors because, you know me, I like to have 2 big doors to help people get in and out of this place. So we'll place, let's see. Now it would be nice if we could funnel everyone through doorways so we can chuck them through metal detectors, because we have built in such a way that people can throw things over the walls. Don't know what I'm going to do for the time being, if it's going to be worth just funneling everyone through 2 doors, or allow multiple doors and so people can walk their own way. You know what, I think it's probably a good idea to have at least a couple of doors, so let's place maybe 1 door at this end and 1 door in the center. It's going to annoy me that this isn't lining up. Can I get it to line up? Should I line it up? Ooh, what to do? Oh my god. That's 4 wide. I've made that 4 wide. I've miscounted. Okay, well the building hasn't... I don't want to rip it up either. Oh, that's going to annoy me so much. Because prisoners aren't going to... Okay, well, how about this? We're going to... Do we have the money? We do have the money. I want to get this right the first time, so I'm actually going to tell them to not clear indoor area, but see if demolishing walls, does that count? It doesn't. Does it have to fall under object removal? Or do you just have to build new floors? I think it's just rebuilding it as dirt. Well, I know it has to be gravel, so... that's... Well, that's a little bit of wasted money. Cancel the foundations once more. And let's actually build this the right place now. So it's requires, it's going to be 15 by 15 and it goes up to 20. There we go. So it's just, that's how it should be. Don't you just build the door. I don't want you to build the door. Oh, well that's another mistake. Let's dismantle this one and actually position this right. Now, yeah, this one lines up much better with the actual doorway to the canteen. So that's one good thing. So we'll line that up, place it here. Don't think it's worth having a second door there, given that wherever they're going to walk to, they're just going to funnel to the left and through this door, so it's going to clog it up more. So, but if we can keep just a tight funnel direct to the locations they need to go to, I believe that's going to help. You know what? I think... You know, I'm tempted to put another door down here, but it does mean that if I do decide to put metal detectors, I'll have to duplicate it several times over, which time being, I really don't want to spend that much money. I mean, I know I am, which is the bad thing. We'll have to see what we do. So let's see, we'll place another 2 shower heads. We also need to place some drains. We'll place the drains in the doors, because that's the best location for them. Because it's just going to flood the entire facility anyhow. Because prisoners have a tendency to leave the shower heads on, which is kind of amusing. And one on this side, and there we go. Excellent. So it does mean that we have to put some pipes to these, but we'll do that once those heads are installed. So let's see. They should install this door sometime, assuming they have the items for it. There's the door. And I still might be worth placing a second door up here if I make another facility up the top. But we'll see what happens. And it's enough to validate it. And the room is validated. Excellent. So it does mean we can lock this one open and turn this into one big dormitory, which does actually count for prisoner capacity. Excellent. So we'll get the double bunked beds, the bunk beds. I don't know why I'm saying double bunked beds. Could you imagine that? A 4-story bunked bed, or was it a queen-sized bunk bed? Don't think the prisoners will want to sleep right next to each other, but wow, 4-story bunk bed. I'd sleep on that. But it'd be a bit of a waste of space if no one else was down there. So this does require a lot of beds and toilets. It needs to be indoors. Okay, so let's keep one space. Oops. Let's see, does this work out? It does work out perfectly. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We can fit a lot of prisoners in here. Oops. Keep this going. Come on. Come on. Click in the right places. So this will cost us a little bit. Let's see, it's already $9,000 worth of bunk beds. Then, what are the bunk beds? Are 2 each, and that was how many bunk beds? 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 21. So that's already 21 beds, times by 2 makes it 42. So that's 42 prisoners there. Okay, I'm fine with that. Well, I think it's making the toilets, because that's the other requirements. Toilets. Yep, so we need to make a toilet area. How are we going to do this? Now, prisoners will want to funnel down, so they'll make a sort of big sweeping motion as they come out. Now, that's fine. And I want to make sure that there's the largest number of volume and get to the toilets and get out. So, how are we going to do this? I also want to make a small entertainment area, or maybe weights or phone lines, because that makes the prisoners just a little bit happier. I think, I will say 3 gives us 2 toilets on each side. Yeah, so put 1 block there. That looks fine. So what I'm going to do is place the toilets on either side of the wall. It's probably one too many toilets, but I think it looks cool. And place some doors. So it's a nice closed off area. Wait a second, no doors. Because that has to be part of the dormitory. There we go. Now there is a pipeline which isn't too far away, so it looks like I will bring it up from... Now, this is the interesting thing. I got a feeling that if I use a large pipe to these toilets, the prisoners might find a faster way to get out. So what I will do is just take some small pipelines. Not hot water. Whoops. Not hot water. Just plain water pipes, and we'll just pull them down like that. And that should be less encouragement to the prisoners trying to escape. So, let things speed up. Okay, so we got the shower heads installed now. So we'll add the pipes to these. And it looks like this design will work out well. Cool. Everything seems to be spaced out nice and neatly. And I have missed one head. I wonder if that's because I haven't placed it down. Let's take a look. Nope, there is a head mark there, so just got to wait for our builders to put it down. Oh, had a mental blank there for a second. Now, what about the lights? Because that's the other thing. Since there's no automatic lights, I'm thinking I don't want to put 1 on every bed. How about if I split it between 3? Can I split it between 3? Let's see. Sort of, not really. Okay, how about this? I'll place 1 on every row. And 1 at this place here in case I put some more beds. And that's the equivalent space. Toilets, 1 of the center places, and I think that's going to be fine. Maybe just 1 random right here, just to satisfy, just to keep the whole room bright to some extent. So where is our power going to come from? You know what? I'll pull it from the bottom. I'm going to take it into the room, and I think that will do fine. That should cover the entire space. Yep. Awesome. So making the little corner bit here was just enough to fill in this corner. So we're going to fill the prisoners to 10. Now we have 50 or less than an hour to get some more beds in, but we're going to get the more beds in, no problems. So that's, we can fit in more prisoners than that. We can. 16. Excellent. So that's the grant. What's the next grant then? See if we can get a bit more money in our pocket. So subblock B, we need prisoner capacity up to 50. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. And once again, I seem to have trailed off accidentally. I don't know whether or not I'm accidentally hitting the pause recording button, which ends up saving the recording, or I'm pressing the shortcut. So I disabled the shortcut so I shouldn't drop out again. So that is my fault. So I'll just recap. We have got the dormitory set up, which is great. The toilets have been set up, the power's been, electricity and water's been set up through this area. We have enough lights, which is great. Which gives us up to 40 maximum prisoners. So it's definitely given us the grants that we need. Now I have intent for our grants, we've got cell block play, security procedure, the water is now being set up for the showers, and what else are we going to have done? We need to look at. So I believe that was just the two main things. Now, oh yes, bureaucracy. I don't believe this bit was recorded. So under bureaucracy, we have the extra grant and the bank loan, which I'm getting done by the under finance, and we are researching security. Also, I can't recall if this bit was recorded, but I did set get us up to 10 guards, so we can handle the extra prisoners as they come in. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have anything to say, feel free to leave a comment below or even like the video. Anything is appreciated, and I'll see you about in another video.